Hello and welcome to Up to It, Down to It, episode 10. We are back since our last run in October and also coming to you via video if you're watching on YouTube. But I'm your host, Kamran Shushtar, and with me is Ty Robertson.
Hey, I'm Ty Robertson. I'm a VisFX artist from Atlanta, Georgia.
Roman Fruhan.
Hi, I'm Roman Fruhan. I'm currently drowning in the humidity of Savannah, Georgia.
And Miles Dill.
Yo, I'm Miles. I'm an illustrator from a remote island.
Excellent. Excellent, Miles. But we are back once again, and we have a new topic today. And that topic is just because I thought of it. I had a surgery recently, and I'm like, you know what? That could be the topic. Surgeries, injuries, and hospital experiences you've had, or the craziest shit you've seen, or anything you're afraid of happening to you in those categories as well, or the one thing you didn't want to happen.
Well, hopefully it would be dying.
Besides that one, that's that is true. But we made a list, or some of us did, for the top 3 to 5 of those experiences, and we're just going to kind of go and rotate through whatever version of what we want to talk about. And I guess I'll start off, since I wanted to do this and had that recent surgery that I kind of wanted to just talk about a bit. But I guess it happened after Savannah was done, and I've just been back here in San Francisco for a bit. For the past 3 to 4 years, I've apparently had shit going down inside of my face, more so specifically in my nose. And it was a combination of nasal polyps, which I don't know do you guys know what that is?
I think you told us.
No.
It's like you got little mushrooms in your nose?
Yeah, little growths apparently that grow inside, and they block your passageways pretty much in there as they get bigger and bigger. And so it was causing me to lose my sense of smell. It also was having breathing difficulty for me. I couldn't really breathe too well out of like one or both nostrils sometimes. I'd literally wake up and be like, oh, I just have to breathe through my mouth today, I guess. Shit. And if untreated over time, it could eventually affect the eyes and brain, just if they keep getting bigger and bigger. I'm not sure exactly how much they can affect them, but that's what was stated, was they can affect the eyes and brain. And I was like,
it's the Last of Us situation.
Yeah, I'm just going to become a big old cordyceps boy. But I had that, and also it turned out I had distilled membrane, or deviated septum. That was it. Deviated septum, where it's also bent on the inside too. Not on the outside. I know people would make jokes about that if given the opportunity, but it was like that. One other thing that was like all sciencey, but this is the gross part. When they went in, this is like in mid-March when I got the surgery. When they went in, they found all this pus in my cheeks too, from all the sinus infections that just I thought they left, but they never did. So I'm just like having these eternal sinus infections, and they just caused all this buildup and bullshit. But this was for 4 years. I had all this, and the doctor, when I showed him, he was like, yo, you're very stoic. And I'm like, yo, why? And he's like, dude, all this shit that's going on inside you, all the shit you're dealing with, a normal person wouldn't do more than 2 weeks of this. Like, they would be like, yo, fix all of this. And I'm like, I thought it was normal. I didn't know this is like a big
this
thing.
This is just my life now.
Yeah. And he's like, no, this is definitely not normal. But I had like the surgery, and I told, I think, you, Ty, so far, and I think Miles on Thursday, but I've pretty much been like, for the first like couple weeks, I couldn't even do anything after the surgery. Like, I was just like down and out, and I just like watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and shit. That's all I did. But I couldn't lift anything, and I just went back to the gym like this past week. It's been like 6 weeks since I've last lifted, so it was like really good getting back. But it was just crazy thinking that there's this thing in my nose that was pretty much causing all this shit for multiple years, that literally made it so I couldn't smell, couldn't breathe well, couldn't exercise as good as I could. And I just lived with it for that fucking long. And now, like, apparently, potentially, I get to be Kamran Prime now, because I can I can breathe better. I can smell things now. and I'll be able to run faster, work out more and harder and everything else. So I'm just like, oh, I can literally be like stronger than I was before in like multiple different variations of like activities and things like that. And even I could sleep better, and which I've actually noticed I knock out a lot faster too and don't wake up.
I figured that when this video call started, you were gonna come on and like you're gonna have like a scooped arch nose and like really gaunt cheeks. Like they removed it all, fellas. They fixed me.
You're just literally a different person. Hello, folks.
Yeah.
It's me now. You remember me? I'm your friend.
This
Okay,
is
what I
Cameron Prime.
realized is Kamran just verified for the past 4 years he's been a mouth breather.
More or less, actually. Yeah. Dude, there were a couple of people that were like, yo, you having trouble on your mic? Like, it sounds like you're eating it. And I'm like, I'm just breathing. You know, I didn't even realize. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. But now it's not an issue anymore. Yeah, it's
Nice.
crazy.
Oh yeah, buddy. Like, fuck yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
Honk yeah.
No, remember, you can still swear here, man. It's just certain words that you can't use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite vocabulary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ban.
But dude, it was what? Oh, I think you said
Hmm?
that.
You're gonna have to censor
Oh,
that.
What?
the speaking of censored, this kind of unrelated, but I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Twitter lets you know when you get put on lists by other people.
Mhm.
And I got put on like suspected extremists, but it was like some hobby guy. I don't know if it was like ironic or if the dude was serious. But I was like, dang, like tweeting to where you're on a list, like that's a new level.
Dude, no, that happens a lot. There's people on Twitter who will be like, all right, this guy follows a guy who's on my friends list. That means they must be a suspected extremist as well. And it's like,
We need to
okay.
cancel them.
Yeah, it's like I might follow somebody because I think they're crazy, not because I actually like them. Like it doesn't mean anything that I
Yeah.
follow somebody. Like
Miles, you're gonna post an avatar appreciation post, and someone's gonna say you're not gonna get away with this. It's gonna be because they think you're an extremist.
I want to get added to like the Hannibal Lecter list, like suspected crazy surgeon list. Like where's the Dexter
There you go.
list?
That's always
Okay.
one to get to. Yeah, I think that's a good one. But
Hey, just on the topic, but thoughts on crimes from the future, crimes of the future?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
Cronin
speaking
so
of-
ready.
got that.
Oh
I
my
watched
God.
it, yeah. I didn't know that was it's not a remake because it has nothing to do with his old short film called Crimes of the Future.
yeah,
It's got a little bit to do with it,
Yeah, but it's like it's
but
not.
very, very, very basic.
Yeah, it's like isn't like some of the characters share the same names,
Mhm.
but like otherwise the plot's not the same.
Plot ain't the same, but it's in the same universe.
Yeah, and this one's like really cyberpunky, like as opposed to the other one, which is more just like I've read like a synopsis that it's like more of a sort of realistic.
Yeah, it's like typewriter punk.
I thought
Yeah.
like because when you see Cronenberg's name, you're like, it looks kind of normal, and then you see the guy with the sewn face, and you're like, there we go.
There
I
it
was
is.
waiting
That's
for
the
the
shot I was waiting
Cronenberg
for.
part to show
Well,
up.
to be fair, I mean, Cronenberg has made quote unquote normal movies. Like, I mean, Eastern Promises and A History of Violence, both Viggo Mortensen films, and both kind of normie movies. But they aren't normie movies. They kind of like trick you into thinking that they're going to be like in A History of Violence. Everything's totally fine. Someone gets shot in the face later on in the movie, and there's like teeth hanging out of their fucking face, and they're gurgling and shit, and they're alive. It's like, oh my God. So Cronenberg injects his awkward, gross violence into it. Same thing with Eastern Promises. There's literally no guns in that movie. Everyone's just doing their thing.
Mhm.
But then there's like a fucking shower knife attack where the Viggo Mortensen's like fighting for his life in a steaming shower in a fucking in like a Russian gym. And he's just like cutting people up with a fucking it almost looks like a paring knife.
His dick's
know.
out.
Oh yeah, his dick's out. Everyone's
Oh,
dick's
man.
out in that scene.
Yeah, Aragorn really.
Like, ooh. He's
Yeah.
like stabbing people in like the back of the neck, and you hear like their bone break. It's fucking
Ugh.
gnarly. It's
I
awesome.
gotta watch
his
more.
towel
Viggo
falls, and the
Mortensen.
guys looked at him and went, "The blade was broken."
Oh.
He's like, "It's been remade."
Listen, dude, this is
Dang it.
Russia. There are no towels in that steaming room.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Man. So, hey, I find like surgery to be like, I know it's intentional, die, like I guess they taking the apart the body like a machine or so, but I think my lack of experience with it, it's still like a horror movie to me. Because like you don't really, you're not supposed to be awake or conscious when it happens. Like so like the
Oh yeah.
only time I've been under was, dude, being a fat kid, I actually pushed the cartilage off one of my legs. And
What the
How
heck?
did you pull that off?
just being fat,
I
like
didn't know
honestly,
you
I
were
think
heavy
I
just
set.
would've-
just doing fat
Yo,
shit, you
enlighten me,
know?
fat boy. How'd you
I
do
think I
that?
might have like jumped. You might have been playing like Ding Dong Ditch or something. I might have jumped from a height and like landed and just fucked the cartilage up. So I was like walking with a limp where like my leg would pop and make a noise. And then like one day my mom noticed and was like, yeah, that's supposed to be like not normal. Like you're not supposed to like click like a peg leg to start walking. Like
Oh,
it was like
gosh.
a normal thing for me. So yeah, like get all the consultations. It gets to the day, got to skip school, and I was like, they're like putting me under. And then like I like woke up, like I was like shivering, like I'm so cold, like yo, what's up? And then they're like, oh, it's already done. And I was like, you're kidding. And then like I just had like a scar on my leg. And apparently they put like a metal piece down there.
What the
So
heck?
yeah, it's just like so wild that to think that, yeah, it's just like something that happens to you. Like if there's any sort of equivalent to like the video game experience, it's kind of like blink, like thing done. Like
What?
Yo,
Cyberpunk when you buy an upgrade.
do you beep when you go through like airport security and shit?
Surprisingly, no. I think the only thing that's happened is now I might be bullshitting here. This might be just like me making up something because I don't remember. But I think in like is an MRI a magnet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went in there without telling them I had the
No.
pulse in
Oh
my leg,
no.
and I remember it going like "Brrr," and my leg feeling kind of weird. And then they were like, "You have a piece of metal in you, dude?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh yeah." Like
Like if you
Yeah,
if it
that
kept
would've-
going,
You're just legs hanging up, just like, oh fuck.
yeah,
that
it
would
would
have
have
gone
you
right
up.
through your fucking leg, dude.
they maybe that just adjusted it because it feels fine. Like
I don't think
Give you a
that's
good
how
pop.
that's not how that works.
Yeah, I know that works.
Dude, this is
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
you describing it, just like having that randomly happen to you like out of nowhere did remind me of a very gruesome
There we
real
go.
injury that I've seen in real life. Do you guys know who Kevin Ware is? The basketball player.
No.
I
Well, I
only
know of him, yeah.
Okay, I only know about him because he played for Louisville, and I'm from Kentucky, and my dad and whole family are big Louisville basketball fans.
And your
Um,
name is LeBradford.
Yeah, my name is
Everyone's
Lou-
favorite own LeBradford.
gangster.
Yeah, and so anyways, there was a Louisville basketball game where he just went up to take like a very normal shot. I don't know what happened. Dude came down, legs snapped in half. Like no exaggeration. If you search Kevin Ware broken leg, he has like the most gnarly compound fracture I've ever seen from jumping like a foot in the air. It's insane.
Wow.
It's one of those freak incidents where everyone's like, did this guy just like never drink milk his whole life? Like what happened? Like why are his legs constructed to be as fragile as glass? Like this is the real like
We checked. He only drinks soy milk.
this guy's the real glass
shattered like
bones,
glass.
paper skin guy. Like but it's like gruesome. It's like, dude, this is like something out of a movie. Like his bone like sticking out of his shin and everything. Like what the heck?
Ouch.
It happened on live TV. It's freaky. Everybody's like losing their minds in the original
Did
clip.
a giant dustpan come down onto the stadium and they just kind of get him in there and carry him off?
Well, it's just horrible because they're filming like, and he's just sort of laying there, and you get this like incredibly graphic, like up close look at it, and like the announcers are speechless, the camera people are like just kind of holding on him. It's wild.
Was there at least a foul? Did he get 2 foul shots after that, or what?
Yeah, okay, we're gonna prop you up.
Dude, he gets to use the automatic ball launcher after that.
He can shoot it with the t-shirt cannon, just like
He calls up the best player on the team, the mascot. And he just-
Yeah.
Yo,
He
do
goes
a
to
dunk off the
trampoline.
trampoline.
By the way, what the fuck is up with that? where it's just like before the game, like the mascots are like doing like fun ass tricks. They're like doing front flips and like dunking and shit like that,
It's
making
a
half court shots. Why aren't the mascots on the basketball team?
Yeah,
funny
get him
you should
over there.
say. So the Golden State Warriors, our local basketball team, is like, they won multiple times now in the last decade, and they might win again right now. They're in like the top 4 teams right now in the playoffs. And when I was a kid, they fucking sucked, or at least that's what I remember. I remember the one Warriors game I went to. We drove from San Francisco to Oakland, and we get to like watch like half of the game or something. And we're just watching. I'm like, dude, these guys fucking suck. And we're like in middle school. And I just remember they're like, all right, time for the Golden State Warrior mascot. And the mascot was like a weird fucking Thunderbolt guy or some shit. I don't remember anymore. But he comes out and starts doing all these crazy dunks. And we're literally watching like, yo, why isn't this guy fucking playing? He's doing so much
seriously.
better than the team was at that time.
Like
it was so funny.
I saw a man dressed as a fucking animal in a basketball
with
jersey,
minimal vision, like
do 5 front flips over a triangle pyramid of people to do a dunk, and he did the dunk, and he hung on the rim.
Yeah, it's what.
Meanwhile, the fucking Penn State basketball team can't even make a fucking layup.
Wow.
You know who'd be happy to hear you say that? Did I ever tell any of you guys that I'm friends with the former Kentucky basketball mascot?
Really?
Yeah,
Whoa.
our sworn rivals. So yeah, Louisville and Kentucky are the main, 2 basketball teams in Kentucky. And yeah, the Wildcat mascot, I learned after meeting a friend of a friend, Ross Turner, who I still hang out with every time I go to Kentucky. He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm like the former Wildcat mascot when I was in college. That was me."
Whoa.
And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Well, I'm telling you because we're going to my parents' house, and they are big Kentucky Wildcats fans, and they have like 50 photos of me in the living room as the Wildcat." So
I was really hoping you were to say they don't know that it was me that whole time.
They make me dress up as the Wildcat.
They're so proud of their son.
Cone.
Yeah, dude, no, they have a cardboard cutout of him. Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he's super athletic guy. He's like, yeah, he should have been on the team.
Damn. I would have loved it if instead he
That's
was
intense.
like, I'd go in as the mascot and then I'd run to the bathroom, come out, and they'd say, "Hey, it's funny how you and the mascot are never in the same place at the same time."
Yeah,
He's like a goddamn superhero.
Yeah.
he got in,
just fucking does basketball stunts instead.
he got in major trouble though one time because he at a Louisville home game where they were playing the Wildcats. He went out on the floor and pretended to pee on the Louisville logo.
Oh,
and
no.
apparently he got in a lot of trouble and they suspended him. I think. For a few
What?
games.
How do you suspend a mascot? Just put a different guy in the suit.
I
They said
guess
turn
so.
in your costume head and your badge.
Yeah, it was. They were like, dude, it's their home game. Like, you can't go out on the floor early just to do that. Well,
Yeah, you can.
dude, it's funny.
You can. That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Our family's Louisville fans. They thought that story was funny. So
I always thought the mascot was like a failed clone that didn't meet the aesthetic requirements, so they just put him in the suit. That's why they're like like he can jump 3 times higher than normal, but the skin didn't quite form properly.
Oh,
he's
God.
just a skeleton man. Like,
Yeah.
There you go. It's the one guy that didn't make the team, but they're like, you can do crazy shit, but you just don't work well with the team, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Kamran, what are some of your favorite basketball stories?
Oh,
They
favorite
have to be
basketball story.
surgery related.
Oh, wait,
Wow.
what's our prompt again?
Son of a gun.
That's how
One
you
funny
promote
thing
the
though.
episode.
The ending of when I was doing that story of the surgery though recently, when I went before the surgery, my doctor asked and he's like, "Hey, so we're gonna fix everything internally, but when we do the surgery,
But we can't fix this. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, but we can't fix
he was like, he
that.
asked, he's like, were you also thinking of changing the outside at all? Like, did you? Because some people
Wait,
kind of do
really?
hand in hand with like some people that have internal nose surgeries might do an external one at the same time just to knock it all at once.
That's racist. He was like, I see what you got going on.
Should have been like, no, you should have looked him dead in the eye, like straight face, be like, why would I do that?
Yeah. Was there something wrong?
Doctor, what's your last name? What is that, German?
My doctor was actually, I won't say his last name, but he was Latin.
Dr.
He was a Latino guy.
Hans.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry.
But-
I think I'll keep what I've got.
Dr. Landa.
But
Yeah.
turning, this way, like, I have a
Excuse
little,
me,
it's a
Excuse me,
little
Mengele.
hook
I
there.
don't think I'll be doing that today. Thank you.
But I got the Persian bump, I got the Persian nose, but I was like, yo, no, I'm good. But did you guys
Mikey
ever
really
think?
tried to upsell you on the surgery? Like,
He tried to upsell you.
No, he asked if he's like, people always ask, and I just wanted to make sure you didn't. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm happy with the way it was. But out of curiosity, do you guys think I would have said yes?
No.
Oh,
fuck
no,
you
Okay.
wouldn't.
All right.
It's
All right.
iconic. Like,
Come on, you're proud
yeah.
of that shit.
I am. Yeah. Would you guys ever change your noses? No.
Fuck no, dude.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like-
those.
my thing is, look, I
Like,
already
can you
looked
give
bad
me a
enough,
bump?
and if it got worse, I don't know what
Get
I
one of
do.
these?
I will say, I think I got the deviated septum of like having the internal bent of like multiple times playing youth basketball. Like I want to say multiple times the nose fucking hit my face, and then
Really?
one time in football, someone threw like it was before practice even started. We were just still gearing up on the field, and someone like across the field threw the ball like great fucking cannon shot, and it comes down, and I just kind of look up because none of us were paying attention. I look up and I'm like, huh? I was called for the rest of the day Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because I was so fucking bright red up there. I'm just like, dude, it nailed the shit out of me. And I'm like, that was probably the day where it was like, you have been issued a deviated septum. Just like
It was
football
handed
destroying my
out.
face. Yeah.
That's
I think that
brutal,
was
though.
it. Yeah. But
So
How's-
I got another surgery story.
yeah, I was waiting.
Yeah, go for it.
I
let's hear it.
performed self-surgery. This is crazy mode. So, dude, I woke up with this bump on my eye, right? And I was
like
like,
a
what the
sty?
fuck? Yeah, like a sty. And then I like looked it up, like tried squeezing it, nothing happened. And my mom's like, oh, styes happen. Like you just have to like live with it. And I was like looking it up online, and I'm like, no, fuck this. I had the bump on my eye. Like summer's just starting. Like I'm working on the boat. Like I can't be the guy in the crew with the bump on his eye. Like that's
The
trash.
sty guy. You're the sty guy.
Dude, I got like a clothespin, sterilized it, and I was like, I'm gonna poke the shit out of this thing, right?
Dude, I'd
So
freaking do
then-
that too. I can't stand that stuff.
Yeah, like poked it and nothing happened. And I was like, ow, like fuck, that hurt. So then I was like, oh dude, I kind of messed myself up here. Like now I got this huge ass kind of scar. But at least
It's like, it makes it
looked
worse,
messed
yeah.
up. Yeah, it looked messed up, so I could like fake it off as like an injury, not like just something wrong with my skin.
Dude, oh man, this is
And,
like hitting home. Like I do this too. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
I like hit my face.
So I was like, I just maimed myself. Like I was like so like bummed out about it, and then I actually get used to it. It's like on my eye for like a weeks after that, and then like one day I just like feel it, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna rip my eyelid off. Like if I can't, like I was like, I could never, and hit it, and it was like a picture perfect blackhead zit pop. Like it like all came out to where like after everything came out, it was gone. Like it didn't even leave a mark. And I was like, thank goodness.
Oh, so it's just a
That was
blackhead.
a
It wasn't
happy
even a
ending.
sty.
Yeah.
Styes basically are like weird acne in your eyelid. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got one small one. I actually am like, can you get this shit lasered off? I don't know if I'd do what you did, but I'm like, okay, is there
I've seen some
another
wild
alternative?
videos of people doing exactly what Miles.
I don't
tried
need to show up with an eye patch and go, you want to see I got these scars?
do.
Dude, my friend Zach Petracco, fucking real life crazy man. Do not know how he is currently existing, but he had a planter's wart on the bottom of his foot for a couple of months, when we were kids. And I show up to his place one day, like he'll never answer his phone. So you really just got to show up and just walk through the front door of his house because he never fucking locked it. But I walked into this man's house, walked up the stairs, walked into his room. He's in the bathroom, and I just hear him screaming, just like, oh,
Oh,
and I'm like,
gosh.
what the fuck are you doing? And I go in there and I see him with a blowtorch,
No. Oh,
blowtorching
my gosh.
the heel of his foot. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I've got a planter's wart. I already dug it out with my pocket knife. I'm just cauterizing it now. And I'm like,
No. Oh my
Whoa.
gosh.
what did he do? Like it looked like he was trying to dig a hole with a Swiss Army knife in his heel, and then he took like a little butane torch and just torched
Hey,
it.
sometimes you can get them though.
This guy
You
straight
need-
up looked in the mirror and
Just
said, I am
cut-
the healthcare.
Just cover it with duct tape. Leave the duct tape on for like fucking week, and then
It's
all the
shocking
roots
how
will
well
pop
that
out.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
just
roots
choke
will
it
pop
out.
out, and you just fucking plucked all the roots out with a pair of tweezers.
Yeah.
The end.
I wasn't ready for how well that
Yeah,
one
I've
worked.
never had to deal with warts and shit, so I don't even know how that stuff works. Honestly.
That's a fear. I've never
Yeah.
had.
Oh,
How do you
warts.
even get a planter's wart? Like, how does that even work?
I've never had a
Honestly,
yeah, I've never had a oh maybe I did. It was like I had a wart on the tip of my toe, on the tip of like my middle finger toe. My middle toe. I don't know if I can
My
call
flick
it,
toe.
but
Yeah.
it was for a while, it was just there. I didn't know what the fuck it was, and I would literally like I had like this fucking like scalping knife that I got for like my 16th birthday, and I was fucking just like shaving it down with that knife. It got fucking gnarly, and then my uncle was like literally just wrap it in duct tape, so I did, and I left it on there for like 2.5 weeks, pulled it off, and like all these little black dots were on the top of it. I just grabbed some tweezers, plucked those out, and the thing was gone completely the next day.
Yeah.
Real life
Wow.
advice for people listening to this one. This is like,
Yeah,
now I know.
Knowing's half the battle.
and knowing's half the
Yeah.
battle.
There you go.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
That's fucking horrifying though, Jesus.
I have no
Oh,
idea
dude.
how to.
Fun
I-
self
those
surgery.
those
Yeah.
popping videos and shit are like the most lit thing ever.
They are
Okay,
therapeutic.
Oh,
don't
dude,
talk
some of
about
them
it.
are-
I don't want to talk about it.
We're all drinking. That's probably, it's like, you know,
Wow.
I will puke up all this wine back into this glass.
You're
That's
gonna
kinda
watch
gang-
so
gangster
good. I
too.
think I'll have
It's
a
on
second
video.
time.
It's on video. Like, dude,
Yeah.
you ever tell a story
Roman
so
reacts
gross that,
to
that the
bus
people
pop.
Yeah, somebody will put that on a satisfying subreddit somewhere.
Yeah.
There
Like
you
we
go.
can talk about the dude with the 38-year-old fucking basketball balls
Damn, not again.
as much as
Okay.
y'all want, but I don't want to hear about some pussy fucking infected ass zit.
Of course.
Yeah, it's brutal. All right,
Did
I'll
ever
use that as an
Yeah.
excuse to segue into a
There you go.
completely different type of injury.
you hit a boundary.
Yeah.
Okay, before
Unbelievable.
you get into that,
Roman
I
knows
will
what story I'm
finish.
gonna tell.
I will finish off that statement with one of my favorite words to hate. But the word that I hate the most in the world is discharge.
Oh, that's a pretty rough one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear it all the fucking time because I go to the gun range and they're like, all right, no accidental discharges, and I'm like, that's you make me want to shoot myself. Thank you.
Yeah, that's brutal.
But I was at the doctor's office one day, and I'm just like sitting there in the lobby, and this, like, I think old people are cute as shit, but this guy who walked out of this doctor's office was like a decrepit fucking, like, he looked like the crypt keeper's nutsack. Like, I mean, this guy looked like he was a skeleton who just like decided to drape all of this excess skin over himself.
You
He must have
can't
been a-
wait for me to die.
This guy must have been 103. And the thing that the doctor said after that, he said, all right, Joe, now just give me a call if you have any more nipple discharge. Take care of that for you. And I was like, the doctor brought me into his office and he was just like, oh my God, kid, you are fucking green. Is that what you're in the hospital for? But so that's I don't ever want to hear the word discharge ever again.
Dude,
Understandable.
That's great.
You.
Wild.
Lactating.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Doc.
right.
Oh, man.
I gotta go home and feed the kids.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Now I'm
All
gonna
right, Ty, go
segue
for
even
it.
harder. Yeah. I was gonna tell a story at the start of this that Roman suggested I tell because it's like maybe the funniest and craziest family story that I've got.
And it kind of has to do with surgery.
It does, yeah. So a little prerequisite. My mom cannot stand the sight of like real blood and gore. Like if it's a movie, it's one thing, but if it's like real life, that'll really get her to faint. And she's not like the type to faint, but yeah, she has a history of occasionally fainting if she sees something unexpectedly, gruesome in real life. And
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, it's like her one weakness. That's her
like
like
snoring and going me me me. Like classic trick. Classic trick.
no, like she like fainted when she got her ears pierced. Like it was like
That's awesome.
it's great.
It's not, you don't even feel anything. It's like pressure.
It's like the concept. I think imagining the idea of like that's what's happening. Like I can't see it, but that is what's happening. Then like made her pass out. But so she took my dad. Like yeah, dude, we just
I
gotta
just
go
love
with
it.
it.
Sorry that
scam.
y'all are getting just cat butt.
Yeah, so
Lucci knows that my webcam's on, so she's just gonna stick her ass right on the camera.
She sees a hole and she's
OnlyFans.
like, I have a hole. And just
Right.
like backs it up.
And she talk about my cat's hole. Anyways,
Anyways.
continue.
about like this is probably like 10 years ago or more now. I was still in high school. My my mom goes to take my dad in the middle of the workday to go get some oral surgery. I don't remember what the specifics of it were, but they had to really numb him up, and so she waits for him to get done and takes him home. And on the way home, he's just like completely out of it, like talking nonsense. He's got his mouth all packed full of gauze, and he's just like chatting away, and he doesn't feel anything, and like the gauze is like just getting like soaked full of blood, which of course she like hates, and like she can't stand to look at him. And they
I don't
pull
want to see
into
you.
yeah, she's like telling him to stop, but he's just like so out of it, he's not paying attention.
Didn't they pick up some ice cream on the way back?
Yes, that was part of the story. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, they dropped by Chick-fil-A and got some ice cream and
A couple of strawberry milkshakes.
yeah. Wow, you remember the details of this story.
I
Yeah,
just
it
a
love
was
good
strawberry.
story.
Roman's
Yeah.
villainous smile as he like reminds you. It's great.
Yeah.
But go on.
It was me.
It was me,
Strawberry
Mary.
milkshakes in hand, husband's mouth full of blood.
Yeah, and so which really is pairing well with the whole like dude's just scarfing down strawberry ice cream and he's got blood in his mouth. But yeah, they get back to the neighborhood, and right at the start of the neighborhood, they pull in the front entrance. Our house is like at the end of the first street, and my mom's like, I'm just not feeling well, like not putting two and two together that it's because she's been looking at him. And he's just still just chatting away, like not thinking anything of it. They reached the top of our driveway, which at the time was like a very steep like decline down to the garage. And the garage was on the right side of the bottom of this long steep ramp that was our driveway. And beyond the end of the driveway, there's just a short little barrier to keep your wheels from going over the end, and then it's into our backyard and into the creek behind our house. And she gets to the top of the driveway and is like, I am like really not feeling well. And then she passes out at the wheel.
Oh my god.
Just floors it.
Yeah, and like yeah, floors it down the driveway. And my dad's like trying to get control of the car, but he's like out of it, so he doesn't really know what's going on.
He's just like,
Yeah. They ramp off the end of the driveway, fly like a good number of feet into our backyard, and skid down into the creek, and the car ends up like 45 degrees, like nose down in the creek in our backyard.
Whoa.
And of course my mom's got her like strawberry milkshake in the front cup holder, and it just like explodes all over the front windshield. And she says she remembers waking up and seeing it like splattered, and it's like, what is that? Like what?
Like
Like,
she
is it
wakes
Oh
up
blood?
my
and just
gosh.
fucking guts.
holy shit.
Just strawberry guts everywhere.
The detective comes and like puts his finger on it. It's like
Your dad high as
strawberry.
shit.
Yeah, well then our neighbor comes out. Our neighbor at the time was I'm trying to remember his name, but he was this like really friendly older like British gentleman who like comes out of his back, yard door, and he's like, Sean, like what happened? Like what's going on? And like my mom hasn't woken up yet at that point. My dad comes out still just like really loopy, and he's like, oh, everything's okay, I promise it's okay. And, like
Covered in milkshake.
yeah, like trying to explain himself, and he's like, dear God, he's drunk.
By Joseph, what are you doing?
Yeah, so finally he kind of gets the whole picture. Like he wasn't driving. My mom wakes up, she's freaking out, but then she's okay. They get they get her inside and clean her up, and she's all right. And like I think eventually like they had an ambulance come by and maybe check her. I can't remember, but like because I like get home hours later. This is like the middle of the day. I'm like taking the bus home. I didn't drive. And I just like I'm walking down the home the street to our home, and I turn the corner and I just see the car like nose down in the creek. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I like run down, and I like fling the doors open, nobody's inside. I'm like, what happened? And I run inside, and I don't even know if I was aware that my dad was having oral surgery that day. So I just go in and I'm like shouting, like, oh my, who's home? Like, what's going on? And my dad like peeks his head over the balcony of the upstairs, and he's like, is okay. He's like, it's fine. I'll explain it later. Just I'm gonna lay down. I'm like, what happened?
It was
Like,
all part of the plan.
I just love that, like cars in a ditch. I'll explain it later.
yeah.
That's
Oh, man.
such a power move, dude.
Go do your homework.
Your dad's a fucking boss, dude. Just like, oh, Dad, what's going on, son? I'll explain later.
It's fine. I'm laying down for a nap.
Go
Don't
play
bother
your
me.
game. It's never like video games. It's never like go play your game.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take a big boy nap.
Go
There
play
you
that
go.
Nintendo. And
I'm gonna take a nap with my
see you
wife.
in 5 hours. Yeah.
Oh my
Son.
god.
Go play your game.
It's a classic. The epilogue to that whole story is that they managed to save that car. Like the creek wasn't very deep, and so it just needed the front end replaced, but like it still drove. It wasn't great. We kept it for another couple years, but like it legitimately would like leak strawberry milkshake out the AC like for years to
Really?
come. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
it was
it
possessed.
had a
Oh,
because it
that's
got in there.
sour
It was like a
ass
weird smell for the longest time. We're
Chick-fil-A
like,
smell.
what is going on? And like a little bit came out one day, and we were like, oh my gosh,
That's
the strawberry
disgusting.
milkshake.
That's
That's a
disgusting.
classic.
That's an eternal I guess like you have the little new car smell, like little tree thing that you have hanging from your mirror. You got
Dude,
the fucking
life hack,
internal
just
shit.
just dump some strawberry milkshake from Chick-fil-A down the
Yeah,
air
just
vents.
throw it right through it. Just, it's okay.
Dude,
I just love that y'all had a creek that you
Oh,
just
yeah.
fucking fly into.
when I got my wisdom teeth out, I'd never done a drug in my life. I was like, how the fuck old was I? Oh yeah, I was 18. It was like my 18th birthday. I was just like so I wanted my wisdom teeth out. Like I was asking my parents, I'm like, can I get my wisdom teeth out for my birthday, please? Because we spent all this fucking money on braces, and my bottom teeth are shifting because my fucking wisdom teeth are coming in.
Same,
all
yeah.
fucking 4 of them.
They're
And
jacking me
so
up.
my birthday present to myself was getting my wisdom teeth out. We get to the office and they're like, all right, we're going to stick you with a needle and we're going to count back from 10. 10, and I was out. I woke up and my mom has a fucking phone in my face because she knows I'm going to say something stupid. So I'm pissed. I try to start a fight. I'm like, you want to fucking go, Mom?
So,
Love my
do you-
photography.
Yeah, no, it's so there's a video of my mother filming me filming her as like retaliation. So I've got all
That'll
angles
show her.
going on. Yeah, like what was I fucking thinking? Like, yeah, that'll get her. But I get home, I'm eating ice cream. It's a great day. I'm having a great time. High as shit. My mother did not give me any of the pain meds that I was supposed to be taking after I got my wisdom teeth out, because they gave me like some serious shit, like some pills, like some oxy or some shit like that. And they
She
were
was
just
like, "You need to grow as a man."
yeah. She was like, you know what, you're gonna get addicted, so I'll give you some aspirin afterwards. I'm like, oh. But luckily, whatever they stuck me with lasted for 2 days. I must have watched the movie Beverly Hills Cop 30 times. It was on TV. I caught the last half. I thought it was a cinematic achievement, which it is.
But
And
just in your head, you just have fucking.
Yeah.
Just
it's so good. It's so good. I told my mom to go drive to the Blockbuster and buy the movie, and she did. And she came back, and I watched it on repeat for 2 days. And all my friends showing up, grabbing me ice cream. You know, I got blood pouring out of my mouth. I'm eating free ice cream. I'm watching Eddie Murphy kick some ass. And it was just a great 2 days. It was a great
Nice.
experience. After that, it was horrible. It's horrible. It was 2 weeks of
Wow.
horrific pain and shit getting stuck in the weird cavities of my mouth that are now open because I don't have teeth there. And I remember at like week number 3, I was like, okay, I can drink soda again, my sweet soda. I took like 1 sip and it burned so bad I burst out in tears.
Ooh.
was horrible.
Did you have to do the thing too where they give you like the syringe
Yeah.
where you squirt the water to keep the holes where the wisdom teeth were clean?
Yeah,
That'd be
that hurt like hell the first couple of times doing it, but then I think I got a taste for it. I think I became a masochist. I was like, yeah, today's here we go. I get to squirt my holes.
Yeah, dude, I got my wisdom teeth out, and the same. I just remember I like get up because it was the same thing. Because I was always like, "Is this what it's like to be knocked out?" Wake up like, "Wait, did they knock me out?"
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm like
wild.
fucking high as hell, and I'm never. You know, you guys know me. I'm never high, so that was the one time I was fucking high as a goddamn kite, and I'm just like, "I'm gonna get across the street over there," and I'm like, my mom is like taking me like, "Oh my god, this is the worst ever street crossing I've ever had to deal with, like just getting you across." And I just
That's
remember I had
awesome.
to take Vicodin, and
Ooh,
at one point, because that I did
the
hear that
House
shit's
MD
addictive.
drug.
There were
Mhm.
2 things from it. One, I think I guess people were talking and said something to me, and I'm like, "Listen guys, I'm just feeling like really hormonal right now with all these like drugs I'm taking." And they were like, "What?" And then the other thing being like, because that was always something they held against me forever. They were always just like, "Listen, guys, I'm just being hormonal." And I'm like, that was
Did
6
you really
years
say
ago,
that?
guys.
That's a
That's
pretty
great.
good Comron quote.
That is a
Yeah,
good
I know,
Ron
right?
quote.
The other being like, I remember one of my friends when I was at community college, because this is before SCAT. I was also 18, I think, when I got him out. And he was like, "Dude, they're having to take Vicodin." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Could I have some?" And I'm like, "No, I know what you're gonna do with that, you son of a
Whoa.
Yeah, and
Nice.
ask some friend.
Yeah,
not
what the
giving him
fuck, Comron?
Oh my god. I was like, "No,
Tease.
I need this for pain. You want it for other reasons."
Okay, so both of you guys, do you both remember like waking up and the whole process, like, because I also remember waking up and like the entirety of the ride home and everything, and it's I'm always curious to ask people because I'm like low key convinced, like conspiracy theory mode, like all those people in those like really viral like wisdom teeth videos. I'm like, I could understand like you're really loopy and you say some funny stuff. It's like being drunk. But the people who are like, oh, I completely blacked out and like I don't remember anything, and I'm just like, everybody I've personally asked always remembers waking up.
No, you remember. You remember
Yeah,
waking up. You remember waking up. Those people are just embarrassed that they acted
I
a
guess
dame.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I remember at least my recent surgery when I woke up, I straight up was like, I opened my eyes and I woke up and I like raised my head and I was like multiple times I went in and out, and like the doctor's like, he might be like, I forget what he said. He was like some form of like just always getting ultra tired all the time. And I'm like, I looked up at him like fucked up, like, "You got that from me while I'm still high on fucking anesthesia? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's what your diagnosis is? You think I fall asleep a lot because I'm under this fucking drug?"
When I was waking
Aw.
up from getting my wisdom teeth out, everybody was like really crowded around me and looked worried, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And and
Your
so
leg, it's gone.
Yeah, I was like, "What's wrong?" And they were
Well,
like,
the surgery was complete. We removed every tooth in your head.
"Yeah,
Congratulations.
Your
They're-
butt's
they're-
gone.
Yeah.
Put it on the wall.
Good news, your butt's all better." They were like, "Okay, just we're being frank with you. You were supposed to wake up 30 minutes ago."
We thought she was.
Shit, they gave you the good stuff. Ty.
Yeah,
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
"Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, we kind of overestimated your body weight, like, sort of ratio for how much you're supposed to get for the IV or whatever, or the injection. We gave you way too much. Legitimately 30 minutes ago is when we thought you were gonna wake up."
That's awesome.
Put you
Dang.
into a 30-minute coma.
Yeah, it's wild.
Dude,
They
I
were
wish
worried.
someone would knock me out for a fucking night. I need to get some sleep.
Yeah, take those big
Dude, you gotta use the
Benadryls.
boredom method, man.
Yeah.
That's my new patented method. Seriously, if you lay in your bed and look at the ceiling, you'll fall asleep.
No, 'cause
You're
then I'll
just
just
like,
start.
"Ugh."
I'll start thinking about stupid shit for like
Oh,
a
I know
week.
the free thinking time. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Miles coming in with the sage wisdom. Like, in ancient times, Miles would be a great scholar. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'd be
Miles is a great
genius, but
scholar
it's just
now. You
outdated.
that's true.
Yeah, if you rewind the clock, I'd be a smart guy. But now things have progressed too far for you to be smart.
No, people would come far and wide, like, all right, I'm gonna hike 30 miles to see, the great sage Miles. They're like, I can't sleep at night. And you're just like, look at the ceiling, you'll fall asleep eventually.
Yeah, it does.
You're like,
Sleep
"Oh, thank you."
outside. I got a full house. This is the olden
Dude.
times.
Have you guys slept in a hospital?
No,
When I
I'm
was
actually
Yeah.
not
really
lucky.
young, but no.
Actually, my next story kind of I did in my next story.
When
Yeah.
I was born, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a really long time,
Fair,
maybe
fair.
27 years.
There you go. Yeah. Did I ever tell you guys at the time I thought I was gonna die?
No,
No.
no.
Oh, I bet you're
Yeah.
just being fucking dramatic, though.
I mean, I felt like it. Yeah. I
Mm.
didn't feel like I was dying, but it felt
You were
like
being Kamran dramatic again.
exactly. Yeah. No, I was 15 and I had appendicitis, and
Oh shit. Okay, well that's not dramatic. That's
yeah.
serious shit.
Yeah, I know. So I just remember I was working at my summer camp, and it was a Wednesday. I don't know why I remember that. I think it was because we had like a neighborhood hike. We go up a hill, whatever. But I come home and I'm just like, Mom, I don't feel so good. Like my stomach's been kind of not feeling good for a few hours now. It's like a weird stomach ache. And she's like, oh, okay, put the heating pad on. I'm like, all right, put it on the heating pad.
That's a
and I'm
mom
like,
classic.
Yeah.
Certified mom cure. Put the
I
heating
didn't
pad
have
on
a
it.
heating pad.
She's
Really?
also a school secretary.
really?
She is still a school secretary, but she like pretty much is like, I'm basically a fucking nurse for kids. So I'm like, okay. But I put on the heating pad and I'm like, oh fuck, this feels worse. And I'm like, yo,
Oh.
the heat's making it worse. And when I said that, the sheer change of emotion on her face was
The mom
like-
plan didn't work. Oh
like
no.
no, like actual worry of she just instantly goes, we need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, huh? And
She put some vapor rub on it and it didn't get better.
exactly.
She was like, oh no.
We go to the hospital, and I think my sisters were still there at the time too, because I'm in high school. My sisters are still here, and I think my whole family comes. So like my parents, my sisters are at the hospital, and I remember I'm just like, oh shit, this hurt. Like I'm not like vocally being like, oh, but I'm just there like, yo, this does not feel good. And I'm just not thinking too much of it. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just in the dark here. And we wait for a while. And finally, like they put me into a room where I'm just kind of like sitting down, and they're checking me up. And I still don't even know what it is. They don't tell me. And I'm waiting there and I'm waiting there. And everyone goes outside after I guess I hear them talking. And then I just all of a sudden start hearing crying and shouting. And I see one of my sisters crying. One of them's like shouting at one of the people out there. And I'm just seeing all this shit happen. And I'm
They
like,
just told them that he's gonna die. We're sorry. There's nothing we can do.
I'm literally, yeah, I'm seeing all of that shit. And I'm like, oh
no.
Oh my God, that's it
actually
then, huh?
ominous. Like,
yeah, no, because no one said anything yet. So I'm just seeing my family crying and shouting. And I'm like, oh, so this is it. Like
Oh,
I'm gonna
gosh.
die. And
Jeez.
I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like at that time at 15, I'm much more calm than I probably would have been now. And I'm just like, well, I guess I had a good long run, and like, I guess I had a good run. I guess I had a run, and I'm just like correcting myself, like, oh, this kind of sucks. And they finally come
Damn.
in, and they're like, you have appendicitis, and I'm like, so am I gonna die? And they're like, what?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. He's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, you don't think so? And
Jeez.
they're like, yeah, your appendix burst. And I'm like,
Oh,
it
geez.
burst. And I'm like,
Like a
what
big
does
balloon.
that mean? They're like, well, you know, I learned like, in a certain amount of time, if you don't treat your appendix when it bursts, you will die. And I'm like, oh,
Jeez.
great. And it turned out it did not. It
Oh.
did not burst. And they
Wow.
said it did. They were lying, and they were like, because they were trying to like, if it did burst, they didn't want to like be like, oh no, we couldn't stop it from bursting. So like, oh, it already burst.
Oh, so they're basically playing it safe by telling you like the worst case
They
scenario
were
up
covering their
front.
own asses.
Yeah, but
Oh.
like, just don't fucking lie, doc.
Yeah, so they like, because
Also, doctors gaslight the shit out of their patients. I don't know why they fucking do that.
that was the thing. So my
Yeah.
mom was like, no, it didn't. I know I would know if it did, and it didn't. And it wasn't like the whole like I'm his mom, I would know. It was straight up like she's like, I would know, and it did not burst.
It'd probably
You
be
guys
a lot
need-
more extreme.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
like they pretty much were like, you need to go in there like today and take care of it and take out his appendix. And I'm like, I'm
Fix
losing
him.
my appendix, and I'm
Fix
like,
my
why?
boy.
I was
See,
straight up
I
like-
mean, well, they can still like be, inflect it with like urgency. It's
yeah,
like, hey, your appendix is fucked up. It could burst at any minute. We should definitely get it out of there. Instead of
'cause-
just being like, it burst, we got to get it out of there.
yeah, it's pretty much
Like
because
you.
the whole difference is like with if it didn't burst, you just get the surgery, you're out, and you're more or less good to go. If it did burst, you're like, you got the tubes going in you and shit.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. Because I think they have to like, I don't know if it's like removing everything and whatnot.
Yeah, they have to
but,
drain it. They have to drain all of
Oh,
that
gosh.
poisonous shit that gets in you because it's poisonous, dude.
Yeah, for those that don't know, like the appendix is kind of an outdated human or like pretty much.
Oh yeah, I've
piece
heard that you
that's,
don't need one. Like
it's
you
a
could be
grass
born without one.
processor. Yeah, it's a grass
Yeah.
processor. It's not really something we're not on there like we need some grass.
Yeah,
So
it's a caveman organ.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with our tailbone. Our tailbone is an outdated
Yeah.
piece. We don't sit on rocks anymore.
no,
It's
that
every
attitude,
procedure.
you don't.
Anybody who has a new kid, they're like, all right, you want his appendix out now because it's going to be a problem later on. Like,
Yeah, hey, when they told me, I was just
Seriously,
kinda
they're like, all right, you want us to snip his dick, or you want us to
yeah,
take
you want
out?
the circumcision or
appendix.
appendix out. You're gonna
Dude,
one or
You
the
get,
other.
well, you get one freebie.
the amount of times I've been in the hospital just when I was little, because it's like, they did something to my toe, they fucking circumcised me. I didn't get like the
They
Jewish like
circumcised your toe.
no, my
Shit,
dick.
dude. What does it look like?
Shut
Let me
up.
see.
No, but basically instead of doing like the full Jewish style everything, I got it in the hospital and everything else. So it was like my toe, my dick. When I was like 6, I got my tonsils out. So I'm like here,
They
like
circumcised your tonsils.
yeah, exactly. The rabbi came in and said, "I'm going in and open my jaw."
he bit your tonsils out.
Yeah. So I'm like, after that, I'm like, cool. So I'm not gonna die. But now they're taking something because at this point, I'm like, this is like the third thing I'm getting removed out of my body. Like, what's next at this point?
I'm gonna be able to jump so high. I'm so light now. They keep taking
Yeah,
things out of
like
me.
they took my tonsils, my foreskin. What else they taking after this? So, I just remember the one thing they're like, "Do you have any questions?" And the one thing I said was, "Do I get to go back to work tomorrow at camp?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh." And I was disappointed because I actually liked working at summer camp. So I was
Oh,
like,
that's sad.
oh, that sucks. But yeah, it was like a whole thing. I remember coming back because I guess I was gone for 3 days or so, 2 or 3 days, because I was in the hospital for a couple days and it was like on a Wednesday. So the weekend came in and everything else. I do remember I have a weird distinct memory because the PS3 was out at that point. I got it was back when there were like barely any games, and I got I forget what the name was. It was like Blazing Squadrons of World War II. It was like a
Was it
like a
the
World
plane
War
game?
II, huh?
Is that plane game?
Yes, it was a World War II plane fighting game. It was so fucking cool. I just remember it was like Blazing Squadrons.
I remember
think.
that one.
Blazing Angels Squadrons of World War II. That's what it was called.
That's tough.
I got Red Tails by George Lucas.
Oh boy. I just wanted
Oh,
to
no.
show the history in the
I
in
just
the
wanted to
skies.
prove to everyone that I wasn't racist.
But I just remember coming back to work and it was like, "You're alive," and I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "I can't lift anything," and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, I was the one that lifted things.
Sorry, guys.
You'll have to do all the work now because there are all these fucking boxes with lunch boxes in them." But I was like, "Yeah, it's your thing."
Oh man, that
Dude,
makes me
That was
think.
my thing.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Dang,
my
That's it.
that's
That's it.
a crazy one. I'm glad I've never had to go through that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, that and you were talking about like having to get like getting drained. It makes me think of like another just like simple thing that a lot of people get that is like terrifying to me
You got
is
drained?
well, it
Where'd you
involves
get drained out of?
having to get drained. Freaking getting a hernia would suck.
Oh, I
Um,
can
Oh
imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
dang.
yeah, my dad's gotten a hernia before, and I've seen the whole thing where you have to keep the little they like surgically put like a little tube in you
Mhm.
that just stays in there for like a week or two.
That that happened to me. I did not have
Oh,
a
I
hernia.
do remember you. Yeah, what was
You remember
it?
my tube?
Yeah.
So a lot
You
of
have a tube?
I had a tube. A lot of my friends remember back when I had a lump under my left breast,
I do remember
um,
this. Wow, I forgot.
which turns out I had gynecomastia. I don't know what
What?
was under there. It was like it must have been like it was like a benign tumor or something like that or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was a mass of flesh
Usually
underneath my,
hormones, isn't it?
yeah, or something like that. I don't fucking know. But basically I had a massive flesh underneath my left breast and it hurt like fuck all the time. It felt like I had a rock underneath my left nipple. So all my friends giving me purple nurples and shit. Everything would go black and white for me.
It's
Felt like I was
10
on my
times
last
worse.
HP,
As is
like
tradition.
Metal Gear. I was like, oh my god. But but eventually it got to a point where it hurt so bad that we were like, okay, we need to go to the doctor. I need fucking surgery. Well, the only doctor that would do it, I had to basically go to a plastic surgeon to get a breast reduction. So they did the thing. I go into surgery. The fucking nurse comes in and she's just like, "You gonna give me a hard time today? You look like you're gonna give me a hard time. You gonna
Like-
pass out when I put this needle in you?" I'm just like, no, like I give
Ma'am?
blood like all the fucking time. Like I'm getting like these giant ass needles put right into my main vein. Like I'm draining half of the blood in my body for like donations and shit. Like
Yeah.
that needle ain't shit. She's like, all right, I'm gonna stick it right in the top of your hand. It's gonna hurt like hell. So she sticks it in, and I'm like, whoa,
Whoa.
ow. She's like, you gonna pass out? And I'm like, no. And then I pass the fuck out. And I wake up and my mom is like cussing this chick out. She's like, you're a real bitch. And
Jeez, whoa.
yeah,
Whoa.
I was like, yeah, mom, you tell her.
Mama Fruhan,
So-
let's go.
Mama Fruhan.
I was hoping you like wake up, kind of open one eye, and then close it and still have to
No.
sleep listening to the rest.
So I'm stuck. Eventually, I go under, and they do the surgery. I wake up in a fucking closet. I wake up in a medical closet in a wheelchair, and there's like a crack in the door where I can look out, and the doctor who just performed my surgery is performing another fucking surgery. He's like
Whoa.
giving this chick fake breasts like right in front of me, and I'm just sitting in the
Nice.
closet like dying.
What was that,
What
doctor?
the
Nothing.
fuck happened? I've got a sack hanging off of me with like this red pussy fluid like draining out of my nipple. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And then the nurse comes in and she's like, hey, drink this Dr. Pepper. Your mom's outside. We're going to wheel you out. And so I'm drinking the Dr. Pepper and throwing up into like a grocery bag they gave me. And then my mom puts me in the back of the truck and I get home. Meanwhile, I'm home and my parents' dogs are like, something is wrong. Something is wrong. There's this thing hanging out of Roman. We got to get it out. So I'm just like, I'm laying on the
No
on the
way.
couch. I'm laying on the couch, high as a kite. Like I can't
my
really
God.
move. I'm drooling. I'm like kind of puking on myself.
Oh my God.
And my mom leaves, and Sophie gets up on the couch, and she just starts tugging on the tube that's hanging out of like the side of me. And I'm like, mom, somebody help me. Like, somebody, meanwhile, my dog's going to town trying to rip this thing out of me.
I'm gonna save you.
She's like, I'm gonna get this fucking thing out of you. Hang in there, Roman. It's like, somebody help.
My God.
Your dog's
But-
crazy.
Whoa.
That was my surgery experience.
Did you have
I
to-
woke up in a fucking closet.
Did you have to take that out yourself later, or did you go back and they
Hell
took it out?
no. Hell no. I went to my trusted doctor and I was like, get this out of me. And he he pulled it out. And then I just used special soap for the next couple of days.
Well, that's
Damn.
that's what happened with when my dad had his hernia. He apparently called them up and he's like, "Hey, I was told to call you back after like 2 weeks or whatever. What do I do about this tube? I come back in," and they're like, "Well, you can just pull it out yourself if you wanna."
What do I do
Crap.
after that? They're like, yeah, you slap a band-aid on that
Yeah,
puppy.
they're like, that spot will close up eventually. I guess, I don't know.
You pull it out, you just start leaking. You're like,
Well,
all right.
it sounded like a horrible experience because he's like, dude, you're not prepared for the amount of like extra footage on this tube that's like in you.
It's like
It's
pulling the
awful.
handkerchief out of your throat.
Yeah.
and sticks the
Oh, I'm, like,
fucking
clipping
tube
the
out of
mic.
your side.
Well,
Dude,
that's
yeah,
that's
it sounds awful.
when Sophie was yanking on my fucking tube, like it was coming out, but I was
There's a lot.
surprised that it wasn't all the way coming out,
Yeah, there's a lot in there. It's
Jeez.
free.
She failed saving you. She didn't do the best job as a dog, apparently.
Do you know if your dad can like feel that area where the tube was?
Oh, like a pocket, like left over.
Well, no, just like if he has any feeling there, because I don't have any feeling in like my left breast
Oh,
at all.
I should ask.
I can only feel like pressure.
because the hernia was like at his waistline.
Oh, that's super
so
interesting.
yeah, which I guess is where you get because
Yeah, that's
it's
where
due
you
to
go.
like lifting heavy stuff, like it tears the muscles there, you know.
No, he was taking a big fat shit, and he fucking just like
I never knew the reason.
his intestines just blasted out.
Mm.
It'd be the best reason to get a hernia. You have to go in and explain that. I was lifting something really
It's
heavy.
like I didn't shit my intestines out, but they came out in me.
Yeah,
That
that's
that
the
makes sense,
scariest thing,
doctor.
That's what a hernia even is. Like it's your
Yes, your intestines seeping out of like your body.
You're like muscle lining just like ripping
Ugh.
open. Ugh, yeah, it's freaky.
I had a friend who got one of those. They were in like UFC fighting and shit like that,
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
had
man.
that like in the middle of a fight.
Speaking of UFC fighting, it's not UFC, but I guess it kind of ties in the whole conversation. Y'all see that freaking creator clash thing a couple days ago? That goofy.
I saw tweets about it. What's the scoop?
The whole thing was it was a charity event. I think freaking iDubbbz originally kind of was the instigator of it. It's a YouTuber boxing event where they got a bunch of YouTubers who like volunteered to be like sort of amateurs versus like more experienced people. Like they're all
Yeah.
YouTubers in some, sense or degree. But yeah, it's like a lot of people who have like no boxing experience who are given like a ton of time to prepare versus like actual athlete, types.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. Like most of the time I watched a bunch of it last night. And was like, I'm kind of curious. Let's see how I actually know some of these guys. Let's see how well they do. And a lot of them, the more amateur, people got just destroyed outright. But the best fight of the whole thing was my boy Ryan McGee of Super Mega. It's just like a let's play, duo. Guy comes out actually like really fit. Guy got like really in shape for this. And actually goes like the whole they cut it down to like 5 rounds because they're like, we don't want to like destroy people. So we'll make it 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Goes the whole 5 rounds. Dude comes out looking like Rocky. Like there's a photo of him like where he's got like his lips like hanging down to the side. He's got like blood all over his face. And I was like, that's awesome. That's crazy.
Nice.
He posted a photo
Nice.
this morning of his nose looking like a water balloon.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
It is like he had like a normal nose where it's like kind of got the hourglass thing going on. This morning it's
Yeah.
like a perfect like cylinder.
Dude, the
Whoa.
fucking the epic mealtime guy kicked the shit out of fucking Aaron from
I
Game
saw
Grumps.
that.
Hell
Oh.
yeah, dude.
Wait, Harley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Harley versus Aaron
Beard?
Hansen. Yeah, yeah. He was the
Harley
Didn't he
moved
come out
Hansen
big
against the
boss?
ropes and ended the match with an early barrage of body shots.
I have to
yeah.
watch that later. Holy shit. I did not know that
It's a
happened.
funny one. They were supposed to be the headliners, but yeah, it was funny that
Hope
freaking-
someone, great Game Room fans, animate that because that sounds like something you could really animate.
You can find people who recorded it on YouTube, but yeah, it's funny that Ryan McGee, who was just like way back in the roster, ended up being like the actual most prepared of anybody.
I can't believe
wow.
iDubbbz didn't win. He's the guy who put this fucking thing on.
Oh yeah, he was the last fighter. Yeah,
But it's
I
all
was-
it's all like
All
the
influencers, kicking
influencers
the
fighting
shit
each
out
other.
of
No one else, no like actual professionals in it.
some people had boxing experience, but yeah, it's like all people who are in some degree influencers.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they listed off like the accolades of like each like fighter as they went up, and yeah, some of them were like I think the guy that iDubbbz fought had been boxing for a while, like casually, and that's like why he challenged him.
Yeah, they definitely put him up against the ringer.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like, oh man, I've been seeing all these videos of iDubbbz getting real jacked, like, but then they show the side by side of him and the guy he's fighting, and I'm like, oh no, like, oh no,
Dude, I'm just-
he's gonna get destroyed. He did
I'm-
pretty good, but
I'm imagining Aaron fighting, and I'm just thinking of that fucking Oni Aaron Star Wars video where they're in like the onesies fight. That's all I can think of.
here I'm gonna
God.
post a link to that image of Ryan McGee this morning.
Oh my god,
His face all jacked up.
that's fucking crazy though.
It's super funny.
Let me take a look at this real fast. Holy
Dude's
shit.
got
I just need to
dude's,
see this.
the middle of his face got wider.
Wow, whoa.
Yeah, guy went all out. I was like really impressed. That was good. That was a good one.
Oh my god, that really is just like that's like one of those cartoon dwarf noses from like a fantasy movie or something.
I think
Never
that's like,
toss
dude,
a
yeah.
dwarf.
Yeah, really.
Scroll down to look at the first comment. It's that like it's an image of a
Why is the next
cartoon
one Osama
dwarf.
bin Laden?
Oh jeez, freaking funny.
Oh my god, that's too much. Holy shit. Why is it? It says more tweets and it says, what did Fallout 3 mean by this? And it's a skeleton with a fan on its dick.
Is those people on Twitter who are like desperate to like be funny in the replies of somebody else's tweet?
No, it's not even
Like-
related. It just says recommended tweet after.
Oh, recommend.
Yeah, I just posted
people who are
it.
desperate to be funny. Period.
It says, yeah, it's just fucking random. But that's crazy. Holy shit. Dude, I would never. Normally, I probably would have actually been down for something like that, just also for the chance to be forced to, I guess, condition and work out for that kind of thing. But
Okay.
I'd be especially afraid now, just being like, listen, guys, I just had surgery on my nose. I don't want to, don't hit my fucking nose.
I love that. I knew this going in. One of the other guys who was in that, Nathan Barnett, who I actually used to watch a ton of his videos back in like middle school. I knew he's a guy with like a really dorky looking like face, like really bad receding hairline, has like a real like kind of like middle-aged dad appearance, secretly really fit. And I think that nobody knows that. And as soon as I saw that he was a fighter, I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna destroy whoever he's up against. And they're not gonna be ready. Like, cause he just doesn't look like the type of guy who'd have like a really fit body. But yeah, he won his fight in under a minute. Like
Whoa.
it's brutal.
Holy shit. God, was this
I
all for
saw-
charity?
Yeah, it was a charity event.
Oh, okay.
I saw a clip of one of the female
Yeah.
fights.
They
And,
wait, they had
dude,
oh my they
one of
they
them was
have
like
illustrious
way
here, too?
better than the other.
Yeah,
where I was
yeah,
Oh
like,
my
dude.
god.
I know what fight you're
Dude.
talking about, where one's just like laughing, having a good time, and just beating the other
Yeah.
girl's face in. It's crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like
She's
wild.
laughing while she's beating
Yeah.
her up.
Dude, it's like scary.
Yeah.
She's like having fun, and the other girl's like fighting for her life. Like,
Like, okay, I've never boxed before, but like I've always wondered like how fast are these people? Because at a distance, it always looks like something you could dodge. But like I guess in the zone, like
you gotta be
just
scared.
damn.
Like,
You also might freeze up too. You never know.
I mean,
Yeah,
I at least
honestly.
like fuck, I'm watching enough anime. I at least ball up like Baki, like take the biggest like
yeah, put the gloves up.
You
I
might
feel like
as
there's
well
also the
scream for
people that are
glory,
probably like, I could take it.
I think there was a few people who were like, I'll be fine. Like, you know,
that chick was one of them.
yeah. Oh, geez. It was
Yeah.
entertaining at least.
Have you guys
My
ever had
goodness.
anything like physical happen to you that that actually alters you in some form? Like
Honestly, getting gripped by my neck for the first time by someone who was like actually tough. Like
Oh,
people, like
really?
I'm definitely gotten scraps before, been in bar scuffles and stuff. But like one time, these like gangsters, right, we're getting in a fight outside of the like dive bar I always go to, Dockies. And I had like my feet like kicked up, and I was like just watching with like my drink and just outside smoking. So I was by myself, and I thought it was like really funny because this is actually like the second fight I would be seeing on Snapchat. So I was like, oh, dude, I'm like a little TMZ, like a little paparazzi. So I filmed the fight, and I'm like laughing to myself, and I like film it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna edit it like inside. So like I asked my cigarette, put my phone in my pocket, like stand up, and like I feel like I go to move, and like it's like my jacket's caught. So I was like, oh, that's weird. So like I turn around, and like the gangsters are like, you got that fight on camera? And I was like, yeah, right. Like it just like I guess because maybe they wanted to see it, and they were like, guys get locked up because of videos like that, like when they send it around, right? And I
Oh,
was
no.
like, I doubt they'd lock you up over this one, guys. Like, people get in bar fights all the time. So I was like, yeah, have a good evening, guys. Stay safe. So like I turn around, and they're like, we're not joking, right? And I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like, don't worry. So I'm like kind of half drunk, so I'm not taking them seriously. I step, and then like they like grip me, like, why, yeah, like, and like I really like couldn't move. So like, all right, guys, like if I have like two superpowers in my life, is one, I'm extremely lucky, and two, like really volatile, like high intensity situations, I don't like freak out in. Like I was just like, okay, guys, like, just super cool. I was like, yeah, like you guys got me. So,
You
so
got me.
I got my hands up, and they're like, delete the video. And I was like, of course, sir. Right away, sir. Like, yeah, I was like, it was on Snapchat. It's all gone. And they're like, good job, dude. Good job, dude. Like, he's like, you'd be surprised. Like, some people get stubborn and shit. And I
we
was
have to
like,
beat the
you
shit
guys
out of them.
convinced me. Yeah, I was like, you guys convinced me with the grip, like, you guys are pretty
You
good at this.
convinced me with the grip.
Yeah, like it's a-okay. And then they
Grip
like walked off,
conversion.
and I was like, god damn, like this got manhandled. But like, I mean, that's the whole humility thing. I feel like a lot of the dudes that get jumped are people who that would happen to them, but like they either would do like the fight or flight where they try to scuffle or everything, whereas like I was just like, all right, I'll talk my way out, like. But yeah, that was like a real ego check, because after that, um even when I get drunk, I'll act crazy around people I'm like not scared of. But like now, if I go somewhere and like I guess see those types, I behave. Like I learned my lesson, bro. I ain't trying to draw attention to myself like that. But yeah, that was like a huge ego check. Like that was like a World Star. Like got the World Star logo must have appeared, and was able to recognize it before it got too worse.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
hovering just over you in real life. Jeez.
Dude, I got gripped like that once, and it was actually after football. We had gotten like our coaches these gift cards, and one of our teammates had like taken one, and I was like, yo, give it back. And he's like, why? You think I'm gonna take it? And I'm like, I didn't say that yet. And I had gone to middle school with this guy before high school, and he was like always fucking shit up. So I was literally like, I actually don't know, because I've seen you do stupid shit before. So he's like, really, man? And he goes and he just like, he was much taller than me. But I will say, on the field, I held my own against him, to the point where the coach was like, dude, he's like half your size and he still stopped you on the field. And I was like, that's fucking right. But he goes and straight up chokes me. And it was around my other team. Yeah, he went for it. And I literally just kind of like I did nothing, and I looked at him, and all I said was, "Really?" And like,
make fun of him. He's like,
like no, I
actually
was
crushing your throat.
I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I was
real
like,
cool.
I was like, are you really doing this? And dude, my teammates were just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get off of him right now. And it was just such a weird like situation. I'm just like, huh, that was odd. Because I was like, I'm not gonna fight you over this shit. Like, it's not even, I don't have to. Like, like people are on him in a second. So it was like not even an issue. But it was just a funny thing. It was like, it was the only time anyone had ever like actually like put their hands around my neck. At least in
I thought
attempt.
I thought you were gonna be like, and my teammates were like, "Come on, man, not cool," and they just stood in a circle like, "Stop,
No,
don't."
dude. No.
Like, you can
Bro,
tell
we're
they're joking.
we're fucking
please.
we're an urban city team, man. No way.
Yeah.
There's been other fights for much less. Trust me, I've seen them. It's pretty entertaining. He's San Francisco. What do you expect? Dude, I will say one thing though when I was talking about like anything altered, because when I got my tonsils out, I think you guys have heard it before, but it allowed me to then make weird sounds, utilizing like my throat and tongue. You guys have heard like the like weird like duck sound and the turkey sound, like turkey dolphin sound, right?
No,
That's a lot of animals you just
example.
wow,
All right, there's
you haven't heard the
ones on
weird
Jurassic
turkey
All right,
Park.
why was this
sound,
not
did you?
utilized during like HVZ tactics? Been like,
I-
all
I'm
right,
just,
when
like,
you guys
going to
hear the
push and be
dolphin
like,
sound, that's the sign to push. Like, it's
Yeah,
just-
like what? Like
Because
those
no
are
one would
very
take me
specific-
seriously after. How was I supposed to be
You'd be
human leader if
confusing
I
people.
did that? Yeah, but yeah, no. So there, when I was like 6 or 7, I got my tonsils out, and after I just started making these weird sounds, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, I just, they're like, "How did you do it?" And I just never, as a kid, I couldn't even comprehend how I could too. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just kind of think of it, and I make the sound. That's all I could do. But
Damn.
no, so as obviously it's not how that really works, but as an adult, like basically I put like my tongue to the top of the roof of my mouth, and I'm like this for the duck type one where it's like this.
oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like I could do that.
Whoa.
And then the turkey dolphin one, I call it turkey because I talked to a turkey once at the zoo, but everyone else says it sounds like a dolphin. And
This
was
is
weird.
Harry Potter moment.
Yeah, this is the Harry Potter.
he
I was like
speaks to the
fucking
turkey.
parcel tongue, and it's like, oh, fucking yeah, the house turkey.
What? That one's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that
could even
sounded
do
like-
like a hello, how are you doing?
Just some like,
Yeah.
Right, dude.
So I could do
I would
that
have thought
since I
that was Predator if you did that like as a prank. Like if I came home by myself and I heard that, I'd probably die.
they're gonna pick up the phone. Are you alone?
Bro,
Yeah,
That's
I'm so
actually
glad
cool.
you said this. I'm so glad you no, you could have got me the prank of the fucking century.
Oh, I could have
Like,
haunted you at night because for those that don't know, Miles and I are
Bro.
roommates. Yeah, so that would have been.
I would have been
Fantastic.
shocked. I would have been shocked
So-
if then.
I did that in elementary school. I could just always do it. So people every now and again would just request it, and I'd be like, sure, no problem. And at a certain point, I think in high school, I just stopped. And for like years, I just never did it until one day I just kind of looked in the mirror and I was like, can I still do this? And I tried it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I totally can. But yeah, it's just like shit that happened after my tonsils were out. I don't know if I could have done it if they weren't, but it was just something I tried out after they were gone. And the
Damn.
like for the turkey one, it's just I don't know, it's like I don't have to think about that one. Actually, I don't know how I can do it. I just do it. But at least the duck one, I just put my tongue on the top of like the roof of my mouth. It's really weird.
when you got your tonsils out, was it like that Hey Arnold episode where you turn into like a yeah, where Gerald gets his tonsils out and his
Oh, and he
voice
becomes a
turns into
singer?
like he turns into like a New Orleans like jazz singer who smokes a pack a day for 30
Yo,
years.
They didn't let me keep my fucking tonsils, and I'm still pissed about that.
Oh, I never got to keep
in a
anything.
jar.
They also didn't let me keep my fucking teeth when they yanked them out of my head. Like, Jesus.
I think they broke my teeth. My wisdom teeth got broken when they took them out. They literally didn't survive the fucking
They
extraction.
were like, you can't keep it anymore. It's a biohazard. You can't keep it.
You're gonna choke on your teeth.
You're gonna choke on your teeth. Meanwhile, I had someone who came into the fucking museum today with like a necklace made out of their wisdom teeth, and I was like, "That's tight."
Whoa.
Interesting.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
I reckon like they probably resell it to somebody.
we buy
Making a
teeth
lick
at the
of-
museum. People buy teeth off of us all the fucking time, and I'm like, I bet we get these from dentists. Those bastards.
They hang on to him.
I think my parents might still have one of my baby teeth, like the very first. Like, did you ever get those things when you're little? Like they had this little thing where it's like baby's first hair, baby's first teeth or tooth, I guess.
Oh yeah, where parents keep them.
Yeah, that might be where I might have. There might be one in existence still there, because it was one of those things as a kid you don't think about. You're like, oh yeah, your parents take your whatever the fuck, and then later on you're just like, yo, did they actually just throw that shit in the trash? Like after, you're just like, I lost my tooth. I'm like, great, tooth fairy took it. Fucking garbage. Like I always wondered, what if they did? What if they saved all of it and they're like, son, here's your teeth. Just like in a little
Performing
box.
some sort of dark ritual in the basement with my baby teeth.
Why are my teeth in the shape of a pentagram?
Yeah.
I don't understand. See what happens. Light the candle, son. Light it. And then that's how I can make these sounds. That's actually the real story for it. But
Does getting your wisdom teeth, your tonsils out, does it jack up your voice?
I don't think so. Like, I mean, I was really little, like I was 6 or 7, so it's not like it really. I was,
You were
I talk like this. I'm a child. Like
I
it
got
wasn't like
mine out.
afterwards. I was like, I know, so
I
I'm
got
gonna
one
go
just-
start a jazz band, everybody.
I got mine out in 2016. It was a very painful recovery process. They were like, you should have gotten these out when you were a kid.
Yeah.
This is going to be bad. But after that, I was able to breathe again, which was nice.
Mm.
When I went to the doctor, I was just like, yeah, can you look at my throat? Because Ty, remember in college when I got fucking strep throat and mono at the same time, and then we just binged fucking like Death Note.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah,
that
and I was
a
like sick
time.
on St. Patrick's Day. That was like such a painful experience. But because of that, it scarred up my tonsils like so bad that my breathing hole that I had was the size. It was the size of a quarter. Like my uvula was
no.
choking me like in my sleep. So when I showed it to my doctor, he was like, holy fuck, yeah, we're taking your tonsils out next week. And so I got those out, and I'm at home watching the 2016 election with all you fuckers on like live stream.
Oh, I forgot. I remember.
And
that.
I'm high as shit again. Everyone like the results come in. Everyone's fucking shocked. I'm laughing my ass off. John Springs is like dropping some like fucking like crazy.
Oh, John was
knowledge
just
and
like,
shit.
fuck all of you.
Yeah, he was just like, and if you see my 30-part reply, you'll see why I saw this coming a mile away.
And you all had it coming. I was
And
like,
then
what?
Graham showed up at the very end. He was like, hey guys, what did I miss?
Oh gosh, a
I was
lot.
like, oh, Graham.
Yo, what the fuck happened to Miles? Did he die?
I think he either lost connection or he pressed the wrong button on his phone. It's one of the
Nice.
two.
He probably lost connection because he's not back.
He isn't back. I'm gonna message
well,
him. But
But yeah, I got my tonsils out. Yeah, you will have a raspy voice for like a week, but it'll come back.
Okay.
Be painful
The
as
Arnold
fuck,
lied
though.
to me. I thought it was gonna be like friggin' yeah. I'd drop an octave.
No, no. That's if you're doing horrible things to your throat during the recovery process.
Yeah.
I will say, I forget earlier, one of you were saying something about like the different sounds like your bone, I guess your bones were making when after a surgery or something. But for some reason, oh no, it was your like the knee snap sound, right?
Oh, Miles was talking about that. Yeah.
Dude, that happens to me regularly. Where
A little crack when you walk.
little pop, yeah, you kind of like you bring your knee forward and you hear like a pop and stuff. I'm like, that's
that just means you're gonna die soon.
oh fuck. But what about the rest? Dude, like I don't know if you guys can hear this, but like my left shoulder, like
Can't hear it.
I think it auto mutes you because it's like,
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's noise from the microphone. Clearly,
dude,
It's not real.
I'll be like working out, and I was with like my trainer at one point, and I was doing squats and I was just like kind of rotating everything and it popped and he was just like, oh Jesus, what was that? And I'm like, what? And he's like, your arm. And I'm like, oh, that always does that. And I started going back and forth and it was
And
doing it
He's
repeatedly.
just like, oh no.
Yeah. There he is. There's our boy. He's coming back.
My left wrist, there's like a click in it whenever I rotate it.
Yeah, both of them can do that.
Whenever I was at a concert, it was a concert that I went to right before the quarantine. I went and saw Power Trip. And I was in a fucking circle pit whenever Violence was on the stage, and I slipped on a beer can and went down in the pit right on I stuck my left arm out to like, stop myself from hitting the ground. And I landed my full body on my left wrist. And I went to the doctor because it hurt like hell the next day. And they were just like, no, we don't see anything wrong with it. That'll be $1,600 for the x-ray.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I hate
And
that so
yeah,
much.
I know. And it still clicks to this day and it hurts like hell. It's been
Dude,
3
yeah,
years.
that's me with my jaw. I went in a couple of years ago to get it checked out, and I was like, my jaw pops like crazy. It
Ooh.
hurts. And they were just like, well, we did a bunch of scans and we didn't see anything, but we are going to charge you for the scans. Yeah.
That your pretty sure the reason why your jaw is popping is because it's bone on bone right now. You probably don't have
Yeah.
the muscle is probably like,
Just
off
jacked
a little
up.
bit.
That explains
Yeah.
so much now. Yeah, no, the left
Eventually-
portion for me pops like
eventually-
right over here.
That ball that's in the socket there on your jaw isn't going to look like a ball anymore. It's going to look like
Yeah.
a shelf. And it's going to be a shelf just moving around in there. So it's going to keep hurting.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna go get it checked out again soon and be like, all right, I need a real guy.
I went, dude, in 2017, I felt a weird fucking thing in my ear. It was like an earache that I had. Went to the doctor and they're like, we don't see any moisture or anything at all ever. And for 5 years, I've just had this tickle in my left ear and it fucking bothers me. Every now and then it'll ache like hell.
We're all just getting closer to death. It's okay.
Yeah, honestly,
Why does
if
this keep
I
happening
didn't
to
have to
me?
feel this thing in my fucking left ear, I'd welcome it.
And sometimes I think about how my cat gets along with like no teeth. Doesn't bother her at all. Meanwhile, I'm complaining
I
about
forgot
this
you-
stuff.
Yeah, if you die and
Yeah.
fall on the ground, how's she gonna eat you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
your cat's
she's
just
gonna cut me
gumming,
to
dude.
death.
She's
She's
just
gonna
gonna
gum
she's
you.
gonna gum you like
Just get really close to the mic. Just put it right in the mic. Nice. That's pretty good, actually.
yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Welcome to our cat ASMR purring.
Yo, I took a cute ass picture of my cat today. Her tongue was out and it stayed out. I don't know why it was out,
It's
but
very
it was
good.
adorable. It's a lot
Excellent.
of cat tongue.
We're talking about.
We've
There you
segmented
go,
the
Miles.
cats.
What's up, Miles?
We were
Welcome
talking about
back.
cats and bone crack, like cracking points of the body. Like you were talking about the knees earlier and whatnot.
I don't know if any of that's staying in. It's probably staying in,
It's
but
it's probably
it's just me talking about my cat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
I
back
have to
gruesome
censor
stuff.
that. You know about cats. We can't talk about cats. We have to censor that. It's too much. Can't
Cute ass
have that
cat.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, my feet also crack. Sometimes when I walk, they just crack like nonstop. It's just like
Ow.
I don't know. I don't feel it. I just hear it. It's
Oh, you
just
hear
like
it?
yeah. A lot of the cracks, none of these things are painful for me. They're just like, oh, okay. But I think it'd be the worst thing if I ever dated someone and they like that's the one thing they don't want to hear, and that's all they'll hear because it'll be like, oh, sorry, the feet, the knees, the fucking shoulder, the jaw, maybe just everything
I'm
cracks.
just
Man.
constantly ham boning.
I'm
and I
actually a
can't help it.
skeleton. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a skeletal instrument. And my bad. Yeah, these things just occur.
Like on my birthday, I fell asleep on one side drunk, and I woke up. And you know how like your arms numb?
Oh
Well, like
gosh.
mine was like numb for a week. Like it was.
Oh
crazy.
no! What the
I
heck?
thought I like paralyzed myself.
Oh my god. Dude, I'll do that thing where you go to sleep. You know, you're laying on your back when you sleep. You wake up and you're on your stomach or on your front, but like my arm will be under me, so I like have to like pull it out. Like I have to like go like that to get it out, and I use my other hand to kind of like shake it around because
Yeah.
there's literally no feeling, and you're just like, oh,
The
oh.
first
this
time
is-
that ever happened to me, it was like freaking Ash from Evil Dead 2, where I'm just like, "Gah!" like shaking my hand, like, what's wrong? I can't feel it.
just literally talking about that in the last episode we were recording.
Oh,
Because we were
'cause
talking, I was talking
Sam
about
Raimi.
like Sam Raimi's what do you call it? I just forget the word now that I've been saying it like 3 times.
The multiverse of
Possession?
man.
Possession, yes. Like his possessions or everything. Yeah. But,
That they're funny.
yeah.
All right, we got to book in this with some good stuff. What's everybody? I don't know. We got some crazy stories.
I heard one anecdote where this guy woke up while they were doing surgery on his eye, and it was like
Ooh.
having like a security camera feed from another direction. He was like, why can I see like 2 different things, but like
Oh,
not really?
gosh.
That's
And
horrifying.
then they noticed and then put him back under, and he said that like that was probably the most like surreal experience of his life. And then
I would hate the shit out of that.
yeah, and then the other one I thought was actually kind of gnarly is I do have a friend that's a doctor, so I mind you, like sometimes they'll share like just random shit they see. So apparently, like some people compulsively shove stuff up their asses. Like
Oh yeah,
that's
compulsive.
a thing.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's that kid from the Greatest Freak Out Ever video shoving the
Yeah.
Why
the
do we have
TV
a friend
remote.
like that? I don't-
I was so sad when I found out that was fake.
we could
Yeah,
use
it
one of them in
was
our
like that.
group. Just
I
have-
always suspected it was, but
So
never
this
knew.
this friend, they told me that one time this person came in and is like, I stuck a lighter up my butt, and they always come in with this anal thing, right? Like they're getting kind of bothersome with them. So that she's like, oh, I know how to sort them out. So he's like, so how are we gonna get it out today? And he's like, well, doc, what you normally do, reach in and get it, right? And then like he's like, well,
He
you're
just
gonna have
likes
to
getting
take it out.
fisted. Like he's
Yeah.
It happened
Like, I
again.
can't
He's fucking
keep it
aiming
up,
his
doc.
ass.
Like, so she's like, well, you're gonna get the sphincter expander. Like, dude, we got no choice, but we got to use the sphincter thing where you like put the dilator, the sphincter dilator. So like the person hears it, and it's like the boom, the TikTok boom sound effect. Like they hear the rectal dilators coming, and by the time she came back with the dilator, he had gotten it out the old-fashioned way. So thankfully the day was saved. But just think about that if you ever have the urge to reenact the Greatest Freak Out Ever with the remote, because they're gonna have to get that dilator, and that's a lot less fun than shoving something up your butt.
That's
I see a lot of
hilarious, though.
controllers back there. Don't do it. Don't do it.
makes me think of the ending bit from the first Jackass movie, where he puts the toy car up his butt and goes into.
Oh yeah, dang.
Oh yeah, and goes to get it fucking
But then
X-rayed.
they just don't take it out. The guy refuses. That old Hispanic doctor that like he goes to get the X-ray. He's just like, well, what? Can I take like laxatives, or you guys get it out? And he's just like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. Leave. Like he just kicks him out. It's like upset that I don't know if he knows it's a prank or what.
Wow.
Yeah, he
That's
probably
funny.
was like, this guy realized I don't have a rectal dilator, something to do my arm.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm a doctor, but no butt stuff.
Yeah. I like the bit where they have the
Read the sign above the door.
well, they have that clip in the movie where they're secretly filming him calling another doctor, and he's just like he throws him under the bus because they make up a story about how like the car got up his butt, and he's like, man, I just blacked out at this party last night and I woke up and I felt weird. I don't know what happened. And that he calls the other doctor and he's just like, yeah, he told me the story about how he was at a party and like I don't know, they're like all having sex and like doing drugs and crazy stuff. Guy's a madman. Like he just makes something up. It's like that was not a part of their cover story.
That's great.
Dang.
It's so funny. The doctor like just makes him look even worse.
He-
He
What
knew.
if he was just trying to one up the other doctor? Like he's like, finally a better story than Jose.
Yeah, you'll never believe the patient I got today.
He'll never believe what his ass had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna reach up there and get it, but I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, just eat some of this. You'll have it out in no time. Just fucking God, it's you guys saw the
Damn.
fourth one, right? You guys saw the fourth Jackass?
I haven't seen it
No,
yet.
not yet.
Oh, dude, it's good. It's pretty much. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, these guys, a few of you are this old. You really have to stop for the sake of your own actual health.
I've
Like-
seen the clip of Johnny Knoxville
With
getting
the bull?
hit by the bull and getting instantly knocked out. and
Like
it's
literally gone.
well, they
You're-
put it in the trailer, but it's like bad. Like the full clip is like brutal.
It's
like
it's straight up like that was it. That was the last thing. He
Mhm.
can't anymore at all. It's too much.
yeah, younger Johnny Knoxville would have gotten up and walked away from that. Like
Old Johnny Knoxville's like one more time and I'm dead.
Did y'all ever watch the Johnny Knoxville movie Action Park?
no,
No, is it
the
what?
one
I
that was
haven't
based
seen
on
any of
Action
his
Park,
It
non-Jackass
was
stuff.
actually it was actually good. There are a lot of things going against it, but it's as a film, I think it's pretty good. Except for the fucking flash forward scenes. I don't know why they were necessary. But Johnny Knoxville was saying in an interview that the stunts he did in that movie put him in the hospital way more than the first 3 Jackass films.
Yeah, I heard he was
Like,
like
after-
really
after-
freaked out by it.
Yeah, after every stunt in that movie, he was in the hospital.
Wow.
Meanwhile, like the new Jackass, he got hit by a fucking bull and then almost killed him. Like,
Yeah, it's a bit scary. And then I just rewatched the very first one.
guy
pretty
doesn't need to go
recently.
that hard. Like,
No.
Jesus.
I just like the bit in the very first one where he gets knocked out by Butterbean in the freaking supermarket.
Yeah.
And he's like on the ground. He's doing the like bad like snore that people do when they get knocked out like hard, and his like tongue's in
Oh
the back of his throat. Yeah. And they wake him up, and the first thing he says is Butterbean okay? Like, dude still has a sense of humor after getting knocked out harder than I've ever seen somebody get knocked out. Like, it's bad.
Dude, was it the second one where they had the Muay Thai martial artist and she like is knocking their teeth out and shit?
I think that was still the first one where they go to Japan. And
Yeah.
they have her fight. It's pretty funny.
This one they had a cup challenge in the fourth one, and one of the I forget what his name was, but he's like the guy with the beard and the mohawk. Or I think he doesn't anymore. I don't remember anymore at this point. But he first gets tested by a heavyweight boxer, and he fucking because they told him he was a lightweight before he did it, and then when they're there, it's like, oh, we forgot to mention he's a heavyweight. Dude fucking like knocks him in the nuts. The cup barely helps, and he's just like dying.
That was an old bit from like the TV show, wasn't it? The old
They-
cup check.
They
Like,
follow it up with one of the best softball pitchers, and she fucking like literally like throws it, hits him, and literally like you see him like dying in pain, and she's like, yes, like she
they
fucking
put that
got
clip in
him.
the trailer, I remember, yeah.
And then after that, they do his hockey player. So he does the same guy, all 3. Just the fucking puck, hockey player, precision, like fucking X-wing into the Death Star shot. Just like hits his nuts with the fucking puck. It was horrifying.
That's why they had to get all those new young guys for this one. They're like, we can't
Exactly.
keep
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this.
It's very much like a next generation thing. It's like all these
Yeah.
dudes that they chose in for it. But yeah,
Sheesh.
holy shit.
We gotta do Jackass shit in Denver.
Oh my god,
Oh,
dude!
no.
Yo, wait. When you guys were kids, did you ever have friends that would be like, "Let's do Jackass stuff"?
Yeah, they would always
I
get
did.
hurt first
I
and
did.
then cry.
Yeah, we never like actively went out to do Jackass inspired things. We would just go out and hurt the fuck out of each other.
We would normally hurt each other, but there was a point, I forget when, in elementary school where I have a few of my friends, it was either that or early middle school, like we're 11, anywhere from like 9 to 11. But I just remember a few of my friends, we had like the cargo containers. We had a
Yeah.
couple of those in our school. They just, I don't know what the fuck they were actually used for, but my friends would literally be like, Jackass. They would literally shout Jackass and then run against the container, just run into it. And I was like, why? why. Like as a kid, like I was kind of sheltered as a kid, so I never got to watch it at that point. So I didn't understand why they were doing that. And I'm like, why? I was like trying to comprehend. I'm like, why would one inflict pain upon oneself for nothing? I do not comprehend this type of thing. But yeah, no, it was like a weird little like point where they would just do that type of shit, or like this stupid ass, remember like office parkour, like it was that shit. It was
Okay,
weird.
the parkour I remember where guys would just be like,
Watch me
this
hop
guy
over this.
named
You have to
G-Sean.
say it when you do it. You have to shout parkour and then do the jump.
We're like skating in town, and this dude climbs like to the second story of this underground like parking lot, like this parking complex that we used to skate at. And then he was like, "Yo, parkour is when you jump from high places," and I'm like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
That's a perfect response.
He like
Dude.
goes up there, and then like everyone gathers there, like, "Yo, like do a flip, like come on, like jump." So he's like, "Fuck it, I'm not a pussy." So he jumps, and like it's like the Call of Duty 4 crunch. Like you can tell the blood's on his screen. Like he's like,
yeah, he's got red fading in on the edges of his vision.
so his mate Leo doesn't want to get like one upped, right? Because G-Shine like fell off jumped off this story. So he tells like one of my friends who had like a notoriously fast motorcycle, like, "Hey, I'm gonna get on my skateboard and hold on to the back of your bike while you go as fast as possible." So we're like, okay, but this is an underground parking lot, like there's walls, but we'll do that. So as soon as your boy like revs the bike, like this bike shoots off so hard that like the front wheel comes up and does a little wheelie. So he shoots off, and this guy can't hold on. Like he holds on like just enough to like let the board flies out from under him. So he's just getting dragged behind the bike. So we're like, let go. So he does, but like he's already got like a good amount of speed, so he keeps sliding. And he goes about like 40 feet on his ass, and we're like, okay, not too bad. Like, Leo, that was kind of badass, like an action movie. So he's like giggling, like, hell yeah, guys. And he gets up, and his like pants are just gone, and it's just blood like where his ass is.
Oh gosh, jeez.
Yeah, so we're like, like, bro,
You sanded
who's
your
gonna
ass
tell
off,
us?
sir.
Yeah, and to be honest, I kind of walked away at that point, so I assume he went to the hospital. He did something. He's alive.
Like,
I
that's
assume he's
bad.
fine.
See ya.
Yeah, dude, I dip out, and especially when it's like guys I'm not too close with.
No, for
Like
sure.
he's my homie now, but like at the time I was like, like I don't want to see where this goes.
Yeah, one of my friends got really into the fucking parkour thing, but he ended up being really good at it. Like he would like we would straight up be like on our roofs. And we were just like, what are we doing on the roof? And he's just like, we're gonna jump off the roof and everything's gonna be fine. I'm like, really? He's like, and he like taught me how to do a tuck and roll. And
Oh, yeah, that
and
was the
we
big
literally just spent all day jumping off of the roof and doing like a tuck and roll. It was fun.
That is
It
like
was
the
great.
one thing that like a regular person can learn. Like the flips and stuff, that's a little extreme, but yeah,
Yeah.
everybody can do tuck and roll. I remember like when that very first parkour documentary came out, and that like it really was like that bit from The Office where everyone's just running around shouting parkour and jumping off of things. Like it somehow like is the same as what's in that documentary.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
goofy.
And that
Mirror's
one
Edge
famous
made it look easy, man.
Oh, Mirror's Edge was the shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just got that from Goodwill. I gotta play it. I got it
Hey,
for like
never
$1.
played
Ty,
it?
were you Goodwill
Never did.
hunting again?
I was Goodwill hunting, and I I found a Blockbuster or not Blockbuster, I guess a GameStop copy of Mirror's Edge for like $1.
Oh, boys.
Nice.
Oh, seize the day. Oh, carpe diem. Oh,
What?
oh, you
That's
boys,
great.
Goodwill hunting. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, no, that's Dead Poets Society.
No, I know,
Shit.
but that's what made it funnier.
I fucked that up.
No, that
It's
made it
still
even
good.
better. Like the fact that it's just connected by Robin Williams. Like that's so freaking funny.
Oh my god.
That should be the ending bit. That's good.
That's it. Yeah, I'm spent.
I'm kind of tapped out of ideas.
No,
except
we're
for, like,
good. We're good here. We're
Yeah.
good here, guys.
Eventually, we're just gonna start talking about like the
Avatar.
stupid shit we did when we were kids.
Avatar.
Eventually, we're gonna start talking about Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
No
don't worry.
Avatar
We'll talk
plays
about it.
Halo. I just love Avatar. I go to work and I just look at Avatar lore.
Also, Miles, don't forget to watch the Halo series. You can come on at the end of the month and suffer like the rest of us have and complain about it like I will. It'll be great.
Dude, I cannot condone that show.
Just do it. This Master Chief is the virgin man. Not no
I've
longer
always-
virgin.
Oh
Causes
my
the
God,
end
that
of the
show is
world.
embarrassing,
Joke that I
dude.
wanted a romance arc in Halo, and they sort of did one in Halo ODST. But I'm just like so pissed that like this is the face of romance in Halo. Like guys could even make like a lit ass story. Like Master Chief couldn't even like make Cortana real and banger. Like that would have been.
Oh, she watched the whole. Literally, he fucks the Covenant traitor. And Cortana's watching the whole thing.
What the heck?
It's fucking it's wretched, dude. You gotta. It's great. It's horrible.
Yeah, I
I
can't
hate
believe it.
everything. It really did make me not want to live for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what's
But-
crazy about that whole thing is like I'm not even like a big avid Halo fan, and even I understand like why, like even lore wise, like that's just like it's a horrible move. And I love these like responses from people on Twitter. They're like, "What? Guy can't sleep around. Guy can't have a good time. Like, what's wrong with that?" And I'm just like, dude, there's like a million things that it like screws
Yeah.
up.
One of the funny
I'm
things
just
is they're like, "Oh, I can't relate to him anymore," and I was like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah, come on.
But
There's
he's
so
no
many...
longer a Sigma,
I mean, that part's kind of right.
a stupid alpha now. just
No,
not
he's
cool anymore.
now forever Ligma.
Yeah, right.
All right.
All right, boys.
Oh, we're out.
So we are finished here today. I hope you guys enjoyed our epic return, and we've got I think we got a bunch of things we could definitely talk about throughout the rest of this year. It'll be a good time. Maybe maybe next month there might be a more intimate version. Who knows? I might just bring a recorder to Denver and see what goes on there. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
that'd be fun.
It might be fun. But Ty, where can people find you, man?
People can find me on Twitter at It's Titanic, ITSTYTANIC, or Instagram, Ty Robertson VFX. Also, check out anybody who's listening to this particular episode when it comes out. Go look up Mad Anthony Band on Twitter, and I worked on a little video that they just put out, a little freelance thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, their most recent video. It's a little AR video that plays when you check out their poster for the recent show. It plays a music video when you put your phone up to it, and I helped composite that. So go check that out. Whoever's listening to this one.
Nice, and he does great stuff. You look at Ty, that you saw a hand him food earlier. That was Ty created that hand with visual effects. That wasn't a real hand. That was a fake
That's
hand.
Alessandro, who's a future guest of yours on another show.
Yeah, that might be tomorrow. Roman, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Revolver Roman. I just made some fun merch. If y'all want some VHS inspired magnets, you're more than welcome to pick one up through me. Or don't follow me. You fucking weirdo.
Doomer.
Oh my god, yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty great. They're all like VHS themed 80s, so they're like 80s themed.
I literally
They're really
just
great.
scanned VHS tapes. And
Yeah, they're really nice. I
At
like
the
them a
end.
lot. They're good times. They remind me of Blockbuster. Miles, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter by the alias count of S, or just Miles WCD on Instagram. Same content. Just if you want to hear my Avatar lore posts, you're gonna have to deal with that on Twitter. Instagram's just the art.
Miles, if we in September when they remaster Avatar and put it back in theaters, if we do get to watch it when we're in Atlanta, we should do a live commentary in the theater. And
Oh, hell yeah.
just
Dude, I'll
get
break
fucking
down. Like,
kicked out.
tired of the Reddit meme. Like the humans lost on so many different levels. That's explained in the movie. If you're like an Avatar lore guy, you would know this, but a lot of people aren't Na'vi tribe. They're like Dork City normies. So
Yeah, everyone here is an avid Avatar fan, right? Roman and Ty included. I know they would never say anything against such a well-endowed franchise that is coming with even more content.
Maha, the French.
I can't wait for new helicopters. And the C-21 Dragon is in the new one. Like, blessed.
There you go. But all right,
This is
everybody.
California champagne by Paul Masson.
So
Fermented in the bottle like the very best French champagne. It's vintage, dated.
how did you memorize that?
Because I'm drunk.
He has been drinking wine, actually. That does make sense.
The Baja Blast.
Dude, that's me.
Like all the best soft drinks, it's a Taco Bell exclusive. It's
Dude,
fermented
get
in a
me
plastic bottle.
Mountain Dew by Taco Bell.
Get me that fucking alcoholic Baja Blast, and I'll be doing those commercials easily. I'll just be drinking like a dozen and be like, it'll be great. Yeah. But of course, yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Gumzilla and Instagram and Instagram at Killashush. And we will be back, of course, again, like I said. And, follow the show on the Suture Side Talk channel that you are currently listening on. If it's Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If it's Spotify, give us a rating there. And if it's YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. But yeah, we will catch you all.
Fucking like button.
Yes. But until next time, guys, see you later.
Yeah.